here we are. Up and after episode 2/1 since the first one got fucked up. But we're talking about episode 2 of Loki.
Speaking of fucked up,
Yeah.
uh, the timelines got fucked up in this episode.
Yeah, they did. Uh, by Loki? Question mark? She was wearing like his like antler thing, right?
I like the look of it. Yeah,
Yeah, I did too.
alternate kind of crown thing.
Yeah, Odin had one too, right?
Yeah, like his battle sort of outfit he had.
Yeah, is was his broken too?
Let's see. Yeah, no, it
It's
was just
not.
like the horns, and then yeah, it had like kind of a thing going up like this, and then the horns on the front.
Oh,
It
okay,
was all gold.
okay. I thought his was broken too because I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Because Loki's wasn't broken. He had, both. So yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be a representation of anything, but hers was broken.
Yeah,
So, um, yeah, okay. I mean, that answered the thing that I was what's the word? Inquiring about in the first episode was why would they announce that the person they're chasing is Loki but not show the face? Then it's obviously not Loki.
yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad.
I don't think anybody thought it
It
was
was
gonna be Tom Hiddleston.
yeah, that's
um,
fair.
I think it's interesting. I am curious about it because obviously it's one of those things where this could just be a Loki from any timeline,
Yeah,
and I think in the comics there is a storyline where
it's a female Loki.
like yeah, I don't remember the context for it, but I know there is like one of the comic storylines where Loki is like essentially the same, but she identifies as a woman. I don't know all the context about it
Mm.
though, so I don't know if it has any bearing on what they're going to be doing here. Uh, it's the thing is Loki has like shape shifting powers, so
Yeah,
it wouldn't be surprising if a
it's
character
still
like that
Tom
would be more
Hiddleston.
like well, I was gonna say it would it wouldn't surprise me if a character who had those kinds of powers would identify as gender fluid.
Okay. Fair. I was like, he's just like pretending that he like he goes to be a girl, but he's like, I'm still Tom Hiddleston. Like,
No, I think that's actually what that character is supposed to look like.
okay, fair enough. I thought like the reveal was cool, and I thought she
Those are
looked cool.
crazy.
Yeah,
Like, oh man, the music was just insane.
and I
It was
like the
popping
lighting,
off.
the light turning
The writing
red.
was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope. Everything was dope about that. Once again, I don't know how big that fucking store was because, like, it felt like they were going like miles just to see each other. Like, I was like, do you guys
Yeah.
not hear them fighting like 2 hours like
I
down
mean,
the
they
fucking?
before they went in, they were talking about how big it was.
That's true. On the outside, it looked fucking huge, like a fucking state. So, and I assume by 2050, fucking all super centers are like humongous.
Dude, the world's getting fucked up. In
It's
the
like a
future.
giant ass hurricane that wiped out a bunch of people.
It's constant. Oh man, it's so crazy.
It's a hurricane sale.
Um, yeah, I pointed out while we were watching, but I was noticing like they were logging where all the time bombs were going, the
Mm-hmm.
reset bombs. And I noticed one of them said Vormir, and one of
Mm-hmm.
them said Ego. And I'm wondering how many like Easter egg planets are in
Mm.
that list, because those are the only two I actually managed to pick out because it was
Mm-hmm.
going by so fast.
Right. Oh yeah, that'd be dope. We should go back and like check, because those are both from like Infinity War, right? That's where everybody was going. Vormir and Ego.
Vormir was the planet where Thanos got the Soul Stone, and
Okay, right.
Ego was the planet from Guardians 2.
Guardians. Okay. For where did they go? They went to Titan in Infinity
Titan
War.
was Thanos' home
Thanos' home
planet. Yeah.
planet. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yep.
Um, let's see. Damn, I just had a question and I forgot. I should have wrote it down.
hmm
But it literally had just popped in my head. So, um, damn, what was it? Oh, what what do you think new Loki? I'm gonna name new Loki Kilo. What do you think Kilo is gonna do with like what is her goal, her end
What's
goal?
the goal?
Yeah,
Well, my initial thought was it immediately cut back to the TVA and them just like panicking and going, "Oh God, we're all gonna like this is all terrible."
right,
So my thought is, how does that benefit Kilo, if that's what we're going to refer to her as?
right.
Maybe she wants to uh infiltrate the TVA while they're all in disarray. Maybe she wants something to do with the timekeepers.
But she said she didn't want to
Uh,
overthrow the timekeepers.
no, but there's other things you could
No,
do.
no, I was just. It was more so like me
Yeah,
asking.
you're
Like
just
she said
stating
she
it.
didn't want to
Yeah.
throw. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
hmm
Um, prior to us figuring it out, it was Kilo except
hmm
for regular Loki. I was thinking if it was regular Loki, maybe he would want to reset the timeline so he doesn't die by Thanos.
Maybe.
Like
Yeah, that
try
could be
to
an interesting
restart the
theory.
timeline because but by doing it by creating a big giant kind of restart except for obviously like
hmm
a small one. That was
Yeah.
my initial idea. Or I was also thinking because they brought up the whole Ragnarok thing. What if he tried to restart the timeline to make sure Asgard doesn't go through Ragnarok? And I'm like, but I don't know. Yeah, that was my two ideas, but I don't really know now. I don't know what Kilo got up her sleeve, so
Yeah. Um, they did make it a point in showing in the previously on of this episode. They brought back Loki's line about saying like, "Is this the greatest power in the universe?" Which on the surface you could just say, that's just them recapping that line because it was
mm,
kind of an important thing. But maybe that's just something to do with like she wants the power of like whatever
time
power from the
manipulation.
TVA. Yeah, that's a pretty easy one to look at.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, This, so Loki brings up like, "What do you want from me?" And she's like, "This isn't about you." And it's also not about overthrowing the timekeepers, so we can get that out. Well, like you said, there's I guess other things they could do, but like, isn't that like I feel like anything touching the timekeepers is technically just trying to overthrow them, right?
Well, I also think we need to remember that Loki is like a fucking liar, and that it's very possible that we shouldn't believe anything that Loki tells us. Any version of them, you know.
Okay, fair enough. Even Loki would lie to Loki, so
I fully believe that. Yeah,
yeah. Shit.
Loki, Loki thought to himself like, "Oh man, I wouldn't want to beat me up." And I'm like, if it served your ends, I'm sure you wouldn't have qualms about that.
He's like, I see why Thor thought this was annoying.
It reminded
um,
me a lot of Endgame when Steve Rogers was fighting Steve Rogers.
oh yeah.
He,
I know.
I know, yeah, I know, yeah.
um, do you think this is a stretch? Nah, never mind. Fuck that. It's gonna be stupid because Kilo's already killed like 17 people we've seen on screen. I'm throwing out a
Yeah,
number. I don't know how many she's actually killed, but she's definitely killed
yeah.
people on screen. So, but I was gonna
People she
say
possesses don't die, but yeah, she has killed
like she
people,
stabbed, she literally murdered a
burned those
group of
guys
people.
alive at
Yeah,
the end of the last episode.
yeah. I was gonna say, do you think her ends are good? Like, do you think she's trying to do something that is maybe not good, but something you can just think about like a little bit longer than just, oh, this is bad.
Sort of like Agatha in WandaVision. where it's like she's not just a horrible evil witch. She does have motivations that you can understand, and like if you're looking at this from an outsider perspective, you can agree with
Right.
or like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't rule out the possibility. I think it's just at this point we know so little about the
Little.
character that it really like all we know is that she spent this time setting up what she
What?
just did, and now
Yeah.
we don't know what comes next. You know?
Yeah, I guess I brought that up because it felt like they try to make a point in this episode of, well, sorry, where Loki's like, I do know that not all good people are good and not all bad people are bad. And I don't know if that's like a reference to just the timekeepers and
Mm-hmm.
TVA in general, or is it like not reference, but is it more aligning with Kilo? So I'm saying.
Right.
So I just like, does she have something like is she doing this for a reasonable cause? Even if
I think it's a safe bet to say so because I mean,
it's
I
not about you.
you know, well, I just think it's in the best interest of a show to make like a sympathetic villain in ways. You know,
See,
like
it's weird because
when was the last
as you
time
get
Marvel made a pure evil
even
villain?
yeah, that's true, that's true. That's what I'm saying is like, I feel like it's hard, but sometimes a pure evil person kind of just gets it done. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like, all
I
right,
mean,
like
yeah,
they're.
like Hela was awesome in Thor
Oh yeah,
Ragnarok.
that's true. That's true. That's true.
Um,
She felt
that's the
like
last time I can remember.
she got fucking kicked though. Out of her motivation was kind of like
Yeah,
revenge
she had
because
motivations, but I
yeah,
still think she was. You could safely
surface
consider her
level
pure
villain.
evil.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
uh,
I still like that like
like
hair thing she did where she goes like this
yeah,
and like.
I mean they locked her up because she was like evil and she wanted to conquer shit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Her motivations were she got upset because everyone realized she was evil.
What if Kilo is just a reincarnation of?
Of Hela,
Yeah.
I don't know if that would make sense. I think we should try and go Occam's razor with this.
Wait,
Um,
another thing is Loki when he does cause he can also do the mind, like what does he call it? Like the mind control thing, right? Cause he
I
was
mean, that's
only
something more
doing it
Scarlet
in
Witch.
Avengers through the scepter, right? The Mind Stone. He
He
was
mind
doing it.
controlled people with the scepter, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was
Like
like,
the whole touching your fingers to your temple is something a Scarlet Witch did a lot.
okay.
Um, Loki, the closest thing I could imagine was in Thor Ragnarok, where he like did the thing with Valkyrie to make her like remember
Oh,
the memories of the
of
Valkyries
yeah,
dying.
yeah.
That's the closest thing I can remember. I don't remember if he ever like mind
Mind
controlled people
controlling
without the
people.
Mind Stone.
Yes, that's the one thing I thought was weird because I was like, Loki, wouldn't you know you could do that? But like, if
Yeah,
he doesn't have,
it seems like something unique to this character. I would imagine. I wouldn't rule out that Loki could do it, but I
well, because
don't
Loki brings it
have
up because he's
any.
like used like a curse or what? I think that's what he
Yeah,
said.
I mean, like I guess I should say I wouldn't rule out the possibility of Loki having the potential to do it
Yeah, maybe.
if he knew like the incantation or whatever.
Yeah, he's the lower Loki,
Mm.
the lesser
Well,
Loki.
it makes sense because he spent the whole episode saying like, "Oh yes, this is just a lesser Loki than me." So it might make sense that there's one who's achieved like high level of understanding of her own ability.
Okay, so this is also kind of hard since I mean it's only the second episode. But what is Loki? Him going after her? What does that entail? Like, what's his motivation? Because I mean, he said he wanted to overthrow the timekeepers, but like that's kind of normal Loki shit. But why go after Kilo?
um, it's so hard with Loki. It's so you think after this long we'd be able to kind of get a better read on him, but it's so hard to. You just never know. Like he's saying, like to movies, like I just want an audience timekeepers, and at other points he's like, I just want to go back to my whatever he's saying, and I just have no idea, honestly. Which is really interesting that we have a show where our hero and villain, quote are the same people, and we don't really know either of their motivations.
Yeah, when you put it in perspective like that, I'm like, yeah, that's true. They are the same person who are different, but also the same. We don't know any
Um,
motivations. I don't even know if the timekeepers are fucking good. They can be
the
fucking shit up. I
the
wouldn't even know.
TVA is sus as fuck, dude.
That one, yeah. All right, we need to talk about this. That one guy's like, they're gonna die anyway. I was like, what the fuck,
Yeah,
dude?
I definitely think I don't know if we ever got a name for the the judge person who he had the meeting with.
Yeah, he said her name a few times. I think. Uh,
Uh,
um, I don't know why I wanted to call her Grace. That's not even her name. But yeah, he did say her name. Her name has been brought up.
yeah. So yeah, yeah, I think you're right about that. She uh, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought now.
You were gonna say something about her.
Yeah, okay, so I definitely think that she says like she's like I mentioned in the episode, this is like Jacob Ben lost stuff,
Okay.
right? Where she's like all like, oh, I speak for the timekeepers, you know,
Right.
you can trust me. I'll you tell me what they need to hear, and I'll make sure they get the message. And it's like
Right.
either she doesn't speak to them at all, they're dead, they never existed, or something to that extent.
Wow.
These
Okay.
timekeepers, they're not a. I think they're not a thing.
You don't think they exist?
I think the most logical is that they've been dead for a long time,
Okay.
and the TVA is trying to cover that up and just pretend like things are still
Yeah. No.
moving.
Okay. That's fair. Uh.
Because I know a lot of stories use that kind of setup
Mm-hmm. That's
where
That's oh well. Never mind. I was gonna spoil something, but um.
I mean it's like StarCraft 2, you know. StarCraft 2 is that you have the Protoss who are always talking about their gods, and you know when they talk about gods they mean like actual alien beings that they know exist and that they some of them get enlightened enough to commune with.
Right.
And then at one point in the story they find out that the gods have been dead for they've been dead for centuries, you know.
Mm-hmm.
uh they reuse that in Warcraft lore as well, but anyway,
It's also reused in once again another like a game I played, but I won't spoil it.
yeah, it's used a lot in stuff where they have that kind of setup. So I think she's sus as fuck. I don't know if she's directly evil, but she's sus.
My thing is like
um,
if they're dead, why would you? Maybe because it doesn't give people a purpose. Like it doesn't give the TVA a purpose since they were made from them. You know what I mean? They probably feel like, okay, so what do we do now? Like, what's the point?
mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. I was gonna say. Okay. So, crackpot theory time.
okay.
I think they are heavily implying that
Excuse me, sorry.
there are. You're good. I think they're heavily implying that there are multiple Mobiuses running around. Maybe not at the same time, but they dropped like two really obvious clues of that in this episode. In that one scene where he met with her, where there was the one where he was gonna put the mug down, and she
Okay.
pointed out like the coffee rings, and he's like he said something, and she's like, "Oh man, they were all
He
you
said
made
they were.
them all."
Yeah, he said they were there before I put them there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the other was when he didn't recognize the pen that he was using to sign the the thing he had to sign. I think a version of him worked on whatever case involved that pen. I think a version of him made those rings, those
Mhm.
whatever you call those. I and I think he's probably not aware of it either, because she didn't like correct him or anything. Maybe she doesn't want him to know about it. Although she did say you made those So I don't know. I think there's something going on there. Definitely. That's my.
Do you think his other versions of themselves are variants?
Ooh,
Because
I don't
wasn't there
know.
something about, I don't know, like, didn't she bring up something about him being like a hothead at some point and like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm making up shit. I don't want to like, I probably have to watch it again, but I thought she brought up something kind of like him being like a delinquent at some point. Um,
Maybe.
and maybe we saw it as like, oh, he was like the cop who just want to do so good that he goes outside the border. You know what I mean?
And
But
maybe he went too far, and they
far,
had to
yeah,
like erase
race
him and
him.
create a new version of him because they said the Time Creepers like created all the agents. They're not people that they took out of timelines to work here.
Mm,
These are people that they created for this job.
right,
So maybe they like destroyed a version of him and made a new one.
right,
Because he seems like so calm. You know, he's got that Owen Wilson kind of personality where he's just super, just like
right.
he's underacting everything. It seems.
Wait,
So there may be something to do with that.
that made me just think. I don't know why this made me just think of that, but going back to your girl and her and the timekeepers being dead,
Mm-hmm.
but also Kilo kidnapped that one agent. She said that she told Kilo where the timekeepers were. I mean, that could still mean that they're dead, but she said I told him where they were. So, I like it's still a possibility that they are alive, and I feel like we're not going to see them though. But I mean, we may, but I don't think we're going to see them at all. Like,
I don't think it makes sense narratively to see them. I don't think it makes sense to build them up so much and then show them. I think it has to be some kind of they pull the rug out and it's all bullshit.
nope. Just because you said that, they're going to show them now. And we're going to see big
You think they're
lizards.
trying to triple bluff me where they know I'm thinking that and they're actually going to show us
Yes.
lizards controlling the
Yes.
timeline?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I think
They
I,
fucking show the Watchers in fucking Doctor Strange. You know what? Fuck it. They're gonna show some space lizards. And we got fucking Thanos in the first Avengers. You know what? Fuck it. We're getting space lizards.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. No, I think I agree too that I think they might like I said, I don't think they're gonna show them. And like you said, I don't know why they would build up all this hype for them just to show them and then like they'll do something. You know what I mean? I think it is gonna be like a double whammy where it's like, but this is actually the timekeepers, or they don't exist, or they're dead. Something that's gonna be like shocking. You know what I mean? So I use quotations because like it's not gonna be that shocking if we're if we're throwing out the fucking ideas right now. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I felt like that was a major plot point in this episode, but we didn't talk about it. So, what the
Right.
fuck did Kilo do to that girl?
I think it's just a side effect of like that kind of mind control. Like it's not even mind control; it's just like possession at that point, and it's just a side effect of that. It's like coming off of a really bad high, you know?
But what's the name? I mean, I guess she wasn't under control for too long. I was gonna
Yeah,
say, the general. I don't know. What's her
yeah.
name?
I don't know how many of these people actually have names. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Mm,
Maybe it's an effect of getting possessed and then going through time. Maybe
mm, that's true.
I don't know.
She
I'm
also
not sure about that.
murdered her comrades, so maybe that had like a
Yeah,
PTSD type of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I wonder.
Kilo, such a mystery.
I wonder how many answers we're going to get about just the nature of it, all this stuff, like how the TVA works, how they create these people to work there.
We're not. I don't think we're gonna get that. I think
No,
is
and
I
they're gonna leave it kind of vague. Well, I wonder if they're gonna do that. Are they going to like? Are they going to do something to the TVA at the end of this,
that's
to
the
where we don't have to worry about it, and that opens the door to all the multiverse
that's
shenanigans
that's
that
what
happen
I'm
later on?
that's what I'm thinking is like at this point I feel like this is just gonna be a setup for the Big Bang. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
here's the
not.
thing. Here's the thing. I want to agree with that so bad, but that's exactly what I said about WandaVision.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
maybe it's gonna be like little baby steps. Like at the end of WandaVision, she's still like working with the Darkhold and like
Yeah.
getting visions of her children and stuff. And in this, it's like another baby step. Or in this, it's going to be they just like drive a steam engine through the multiverse.
All right, we're gonna crackpot
But,
theories again.
well, maybe this is setting up like the setting and like all the mechanics of the multiverse of madness, and in WandaVision that was setting up like one of the main players in that story. Like that's setting up Wanda as a character and how she's going to act in that story, whereas this is setting up just all the mechanics that we're going to be seeing, or lack thereof. I don't know.
See, it's hard because I was thinking the multiverse thing was gonna be all these different parallel universes and then they collide into one. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
what we know from TVA is more so like one set timeline that kind of branches off.
Yeah, well, they say like one event happening out of its order just causes chain reactions of
Mm-hmm.
everything going away from what it's supposed
Supposed
to
to
be.
be right.
But again, I don't know if we can trust that.
Well, we can because that came
They
from
did, yeah,
that came from Mobius. Well, that came from the TVA. Like they're the ones who said it, not Loki.
yeah. But I don't know if I can trust them. That's what I'm saying.
Why can't we
I know I
trust?
can't. I know I can't trust Loki. I don't know if I can trust the TV. I just told you they may be lying about the timekeepers.
But that doesn't. But that doesn't mean that the way things work is fake. Like
Maybe
just
I
because
mean,
just because I kept the fact that your parents are dead don't mean that what they said isn't true. You see what I'm saying? Like
yeah, I don't know.
I mean I don't trust them either. Especially when she picked up that baton, I was like, oh, she's about to kill. Wait, no. Especially in the first episode when that guy was like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, nah, fuck the TVA, bro.
God, what was it? Yeah, I just can't imagine in 4 more episodes they're gonna like really expand on this. It has to just all come crashing down so that they can't ever use it again. Because this whole like plot device they set up is just so powerful now.
That's
I know
like
I was going on last time about how like, oh man, like they've restricted it to where they can only, step in when things go wrong. It's like, well, things have gone wrong now, and I'm worried that if they don't like shut this shit down, they're gonna have problems.
how would they shut it down? I don't understand. They literally correct timelines. You
don't
can't
know.
just shut it down.
Shut it down.
All right, boys, wrap it up. We gotta leave.
You can find your provided cardboard box next to your desk. We need to clean out by 4 so the cleaners can come in.
That one guy that Loki always runs to, he's just like, oh man, he's just like swipes his whole desk into
Poor
the fucking
Casey,
box.
dude.
He reminds me of the one dude from WandaVision, the guy who
Yeah,
worked at the
Jones.
office. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
poor Jones.
Um, I,
Crap.
I agree. I think with the next 4 episodes, I think it's just gonna have to like all crash. There's no like I don't see it being like, okay, all is well. All right, we're good. We're gonna keep this I don't know plot device the TVA into all these other movies and shows and shit. Like, are they a one time thing? They gonna show up for just Loki and then you don't ever see them again, or like in the sense of they're still gonna be here, but we just don't see them. You know what I mean? Maybe they're talked about,
Right.
but why would they be talked about unless I don't know? Maybe fucking Doctor Strange find out about them or something like that.
It's just like they literally have the big movie. Like the big movie in this phase is gonna be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I can't imagine you can have a Multiverse of Madness story without the TVA like stepping in to try and fix things. Because if there's a Multiverse of Madness, something's fucked up.
No.
Unless, if that's all part of the plan of the Timekeepers, This just leads more credence to my theory
See,
that they are either untrustworthy or they don't
see,
exist.
this is where you're fucking up to think that the TVA is gonna step in to help the fucking multiverses. No, fucking Doctor Strange is gonna step in to help TVA get the shit together. That's what's gonna happen. You
I don't
said no.
know. I don't know. I just can't imagine that.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't.
I I honestly
I think
think the TVA is gonna
I
disband by the end of
yeah.
this
I don't
show.
think it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
I think like Doctor Strange, because that just means that when it comes up, Doctor Strange is gonna be pretty much on his own. I
Wanda,
don't think I
Wanda
could.
be there.
She might be a villain though.
I know.
I'm still holding out on that. I think she might still be the villain of that movie.
And apparently, I was about to call her Maximoff. Wow. I'm gonna call her Maximoff anyway. Maximoff said that like it's gonna be like a horror show or something like
Yeah, they
that.
say it's gonna be kind of like horror esque,
And
which makes sense because Sam Raimi's directing it.
I'm like, but what is that? What does that entail? Like,
I
what's
think
a
we're gonna see a
Marvel
lot of
horror
weird
movie?
shit. I think we're gonna see some weird shit.
And Sam Raimi's behind it, like you said. So I can't like. I'm just trying to think. Like, is it gonna
It's
be
gonna
some
be
Evil Dead shit? Like,
it's gonna be scary, but it's also gonna be a lot of fun. You know, it's gonna
yeah,
be weird.
yeah. I'm
I'm kind of
excited for this
excited.
next
I love
phase.
weird
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I hope it's done properly. I hope it's not like weird enough where I'm just like, what the like. I don't want to leave with this empty feeling of like, why did I watch that type of thing? And since I'm not, I know this is totally different, but since I'm not a huge fan of the first Doctor Strange, I hope it doesn't like carry over. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
gonna be way different because Doctor Strange has been in th- 3 movies since his first movie, and he's just like he seems like a much different character at this point
yeah, I
than
would
what he
agree.
left off as.
He was kind of a different character by the end of his movie. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a transformative kind of
mm,
character
mm,
piece, but I mean, from the end of that movie to where he is now, he's even more different than that.
okay.
Um,
Because he was in Infinity War.
he was in Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame.
Okay.
I think those are the 3 he
He
mainly
wasn't.
was in.
He wasn't in any Spider Mans, right? He wasn't in
No,
Homecoming or okay.
no, no, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I I do like Benedict Cumberbatch though, so
Yeah,
it's a plus.
I'm just really happy that Marvel's just getting to do what they want now. Like they're just able to get direct, like, and they give their directors a lot of like
Um.
creative control,
Mm-hmm.
from what I can tell.
Right.
I don't know that for sure, but it seems like the creators are allowed to do what they want with these projects, and they're really creative projects. That's what's making me, even though like they've had their problems, each of these shows that we've watched so far, I still think they've all just been really great in
Mm-hmm.
terms of how impressed I've been with them, considering how Endgame seemed like such a final like stamp
Nail.
on the book
Mm-hmm.
of this series. And
Yeah.
now it's like, all right, we've gotten this big, big bad guy story arc done. Now
Just
we're
getting the
gonna see
weird
like,
shit.
let's just like see how this universe lives. Let's see some breathing room here for characters that we've had up to this point.
Not only that, I'm also glad that each show has kept up its production value. Like they all look
Oh
like
yeah,
they could just be movies. Like you literally
yeah.
just
It's
pull scenes out of
crazy how
movies.
it's
Yeah.
so crazy how much money Disney must be throwing at Marvel, and
Like
in turn how much money Marvel's throwing at these shows.
like yeah, it's just kudos for that. And I also agree. I think they do give their directors a lot of breathing room. I think maybe at the beginning when these movies were first coming out, I don't think they were giving them that much breathing room. They're probably like, hey, we need this big
Yeah,
villain. We need you to do it like this, very formulaic. And then it got to a point where they're like, you know what? Let's give you guys free reign, see what you can do with it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree.
yeah, it's pretty dope.
And it kind of. Mm.
Also, was it you that read it? I think you did read it because we were talking about um Black Panther, Captain Marvel, the guy who was like, I don't want those movies to happen.
Oh, Ike Perlmutter. Yeah.
Yeah, but he ended up stepping down, right? Or
Yeah, he's like not. He's barely involved anymore.
yeah,
Yeah, but he was basically overseeing Kevin Feige, and he had to like sign off on
okay.
pretty much all the
I'm
movie ideas.
about to say right when he stepped down, isn't that when the movie started kind of like
Yeah, that's when we got stuff like Black Panther and
right,
uh a lot more focus on
mm,
just more diverse character cast and
right.
more unique stories that they could tell.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I was like, would him also be like a dampening
I
of
mean,
the?
yeah, there's a lot of factors that have gone into it, but
Mm-hmm.
pretty
Yeah.
good now as it is. We
Hell
haven't seen
yeah.
a movie yet, though. We haven't had a Phase 4 movie. I'm pretty
Uh,
excited.
uh, what's that girl name? Black Widow.
Like, oh yeah,
I
that's
have
gonna be the first one.
no interest. It's the same thing like Captain Marvel. Like, but that was different because at least with Captain Marvel it was like the setup with the snap, right? And then we see Nick Fury with the Captain Marvel thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, so her movie's gonna be like, who is she as a character? But I already know who Black Widow is, so
Yeah,
getting a backstory movie, I just don't care enough. Like
I have no idea what they're gonna do with it. If they just go full like
backstory,
backstory, then it might be something interesting where it's like if you ever want to rewatch the movies, you could like maybe
put
watch that
put
during
it
Phase
in.
1 or something. Just kind of like Phase 1 or 2, you could just kind of watch it just so you can get some extra context about her when you see her in Avengers movies. I don't
Iron
know.
Man, when you see her in Iron Man too.
I mean, or they'll do something really unique with it. I think I'll enjoy the like character stuff they do because I really liked what they were kind of playing with in Age of Ultron, with kind of hinting at her backstory. And I kind of, if they just go full in on like just the horrible stuff that makes a Black Widow what a Black Widow is, I think that could be interesting. It's just what do you do around that? Because that can't be the whole movie. You need more, and obviously there's gonna be stuff like Taskmaster and stuff. But it's like I don't know. I don't know what because
Sing
the whole thing about the Marvel movies is that they have ramifications going forward for their future movies. I think this might be the first movie that just has no ramification on anything in the future, you know? I could be wrong.
like watching the trailer, it gave me like kick-ass vibes. I
Right.
think a little bit, and like it would be cool to see her back. I just it just looks so lighthearted, if that makes sense. Like
Which it
it
probably shouldn't be.
yeah, it seemed like it should be like a gritty spy type of movie.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
that might just be marketing, they want to bring
That's
people
very
in.
true. That's very true.
It's, you know, it's really cynical of me to think this way, but it's one of those things where it's like they want to make it as marketable as possible because it's a woman-led superhero movie, and that they, executives and producers might not think that sells as well, so they have to make it as marketable as possible for trailers and stuff.
That's fair. I
That
mean,
could be me being very cynical about it, but
that's true.
yeah,
And I want to say they didn't go as far as to, like, do any, like, they didn't put her in like a sexy suit or anything like that, right? Like it's just kind of like a normal Black Widow
yeah, it's
fighting
been a
gear,
really long
right?
time since I've seen
Yeah, I
any of
haven't
the
seen a trailer in
trailers.
a while. I think the last time I saw it was maybe like a month ago. So, and I
Oh,
haven't.
jeez, it has to have been like over a year for me because I
Wow,
I mean, I just,
really?
well, I'm avoiding it. I just like at this point with Marvel, I don't like if I can avoid trailers, I kind of want to
Okay,
because I know I'm gonna watch everything anyway.
that's fair. I think I see it on like my mom's watching TV and I see like the Black Widow trailer. Like I'm like,
Right.
oh okay, but like I haven't like focused like watched every detail. The only thing, the last like trailer I saw like in detail is Shang, I was about to say Shang Tzu. That's not it. That's
Shang-Chi.
fucking, yeah, that's fucking the Batman video game on OG Xbox or Xbox 360. It's like Batman in the fight of Shang Tzu. Anyway, yeah, Shang-Chi. Yeah, that's the only one I've seen like like all the way through and like focus like, oh, this is cool, because I don't know anything about that character, so I think that's gonna be
I
dope.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the immortal, or not immortal, the Eternals, the latest trailer for that. I haven't even
There's a
seen that.
trailer for that. I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
wasn't there like a
This,
thing for that?
I don't know.
Just
You
double
could be
check.
right. I'm just saying I didn't see it.
Yeah, there was a trailer came out 3 weeks ago,
Oh shit!
and
Should I
I
go
haven't
check
watched
that
it. Just
out?
I'm not gonna watch it because I know I'm gonna see the movie anyway. So
I don't know anything about them, so
I know barely anything about them either,
I guess.
which I like. I like how they're going into a lot of stuff that I just know barely anything about.
Yeah.
Like this show is fun because I seriously don't know where they're going. You know, even with WandaVision, I knew about Agatha Harkness and I knew about um the Darkhold and all that, and some of the storylines they were trying to pull from. But with this, it's like I don't know, no TVA, I don't know, no fucking Mobius, played by Owen Wilson.
Shut the fuck up! Why are you throwing his name out? Played by Owen Wilson. Ka-chow!
I'm still not, I'm still not used to it. I find it such an interesting choice of casting.
Which is weird because like I like his character. Like he plays the character well. It is weird that it's Owen Wilson though. Like it's, it's like if they cast like Jackie Chan as someone, and I'm just like, it's weird because it's Jackie Chan. Like, but I understand because it's Marvel. Like Disney's like, yo, let's get like somebody really famous, and they get Jackie Chan. I'm just like, but it's Jackie Chan. Like you don't even have to choose him.
I don't even think that's the thing is Marvel casting. Who's the casting director for Marvel? I forget her name. Sarah Finn. She's been like the casting director since all the way back in Iron Man 1, and she's basically like the person who's cast every single character in the entire Marvel series.
Very good. She's very good at her job.
Yeah, exactly.
She gets paid the fucking big bucks. Give that woman a fucking medal. Like,
yeah, it's pretty interesting. I read about her recently, and yeah, so I meant like I want to see what his character is going to do in the future because I still don't know like what, especially if my horrible crackpot theories are right. I want to see what this character is really supposed to be like. Already, I feel like Wilson is a fine casting choice for him, but there may be even more there that he could try like tackle in terms of
that's true.
being someone completely different.
This also leaves the door open for like if Kilo is a alternate universe Loki, does that mean that every other character has an alternate universe version of them? And this would also go back into that whole like Wanda is like how she is in the comics. She's like always the same Wanda. You know what I'm saying? So
Like a Nexus being,
yeah. So and they talk about the Nexus. So
yeah, they mentioned like Nexus points or where timelines diverge and stuff.
mm-hmm.
I don't know about every character. I mean, they seem to be pretty adamant that this is a variant, as in like
a different variation of the
well, it's
OG.
something that has diverted from what the proper timeline is meant to be.
Mm. So has this Loki gotten so far away that it like it's a completely different like person, like you know what I'm saying, like personality wise they're the same but like everything else is different.
I don't know.
Like the powers are different in the sense of like we as far as we know our Loki can't do that. So like
Yeah, I have no idea.
So
I'm really curious to find out how much of this they're gonna answer.
Turns out it's not even Loki at all. We were all fucking wrong.
I think I'm like 78% sure that this is actually a Loki variant.
Okay. I would agree that I think it's a Loki variant. I think because I also think that the idea of that being a Loki is cool. So that's also why I want to subscribe to that one. But if it is someone totally different, I'm not necessarily opposed to it. But why go by Loki?
I mean, Loki could be a gender neutral man.
Huh? What? No, I'm just. Well, I was just saying, like, why choose Loki? Like Loki, like it's like everyone knows Loki, so that's not like why choose Loki rather than just going by your own. See what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, I assume that this person, Kilo Loki, already knows about our Loki, right? So I was just saying, if it is a different person altogether, it's not a variant of Loki. Why go by Loki?
Oh, you're saying
Yeah,
the conditional that this isn't
Loki.
Loki.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
saying. Why
I was gonna
accept
say
the
like,
fact that it's Loki?
okay,
You
all
see what
right.
I'm saying?
So, like, I mean, it's her name. Like she can use it.
No,
Why not
no,
that?
no,
But
no,
it's
no,
it's
no.
Loki. Why?
Yeah,
Okay, that makes more sense to me.
yeah. I saw you like what? That's her name, and I was like, no, it's not like that. I'm not saying she can't be
Right.
Loki.
I got you. Okay, my mistake.
I guess that actually make all right. I guess I was about to say that actually just makes it more like I think it's just a variant of Loki, like just because they go by Loki. Because I feel like you wouldn't choose to be Loki if you weren't Loki. You know what I'm saying? But also, she said like, oh, that could just be fucking. I don't know, man. It's Loki. I was gonna say she also was like, no, call me fucking Paul and call me Bennett. Like, but that could also just be Loki fucking around with Loki. So.
Call me Randy.
God, now I see why Thor thought this was annoying. Look, well, I'm trying to overthrow the timekeepers. You wanna be my right hand man? I'm gonna need a right hand man.
I love actors pretending to be Tom Hiddleston, pretending to be those actors. Like they've done that so much in this series, and I'll never get tired of it. My favorite one is still Anthony Hopkins pretending to be Loki,
That was
pretending to be
so.
Odin.
That's so great. Like it's so great acting.
I never thought I'd see Odin just say, "Oh shit."
Fucking stupid. Wait, you also got Captain America, right? Captain America
Yeah, he's
playing.
done it a few times. Yeah, Chris Evans has done it a few times.
Who else did they do?
Man, they've
I thought
done
they
a
did
bunch
one
in the horror
more.
movies.
Yeah,
And
they
I
always
mean,
do
Thor
it.
2, he did a couple in a row, you know.
Yeah, he did. Damn, I thought he did one more person, like for sure. Like I know, but I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, me neither.
Anyway, is that it for Loki's episode 2? Anything else you want to tackle in?
Let me check my notes. I don't think so. Uh, I think that's pretty much everything I have.
Okay, that's pretty much everything for me. We're sitting at 48 minutes, sorta. We're ticking. We're 10 seconds away. Um,
That
yeah.
Nice.
Until next week's episode. But here's Up and After, and that was our discussion on Loki episode 2. Bye.